Chapter 1 The effect of cultivation will be returned 10,000 times. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xuanhuan City, Yang Family Martial Arts Arena. Men and women in tight clothes practiced martial arts in the morning glow, and made loud hums and ha from time to time. Ding! The system of 10,000 times return of training effect is officially activated. At this time, a crisp mechanical prompt sounded in Yang Feng's mind, which shocked his mind. His martial arts practice was involuntarily paused, and his face showed an ecstatic look. After 16 years, my system is finally activated. Yang Feng stopped practicing martial arts, sighed in his heart, and began to check the specific function of the system. Soon, Yang Feng figured out the function of the system. The function of the system is very simple, that is, the training effect is 10,000 times returned. Whether Yang Feng is practicing martial arts or learning alchemy, refining equipment and making talismans, he can get 10,000 times return of training effect. For example, if Yang Feng practices the tempering body art once, the system will return 10,000 times the training effect, which is equivalent to Yang Feng practicing the tempering body art 10,000 times. For example, after Yang Feng practiced the tiger fist once, the system would return 10,000 times the effect of the practice, which was equivalent to Yang Feng practicing the tiger fist 10,000 times. What's more valuable is that the 10,000-fold return ignores everything and directly applies the 10,000-fold effect of the practice to Yang Feng, without worrying about energy consumption, the body being unable to bear it, etc., which is extremely powerful. After understanding the specific role of the system, Yang Feng began to practice the body tempering technique with excitement and anticipation. The body tempering technique is a method for martial artists in the body refining realm to temper their bodies and enhance their physical strength and speed. There are a total of 108 movements, and each movement must be 100% standard to achieve the effect of tempering the body. Soon, Yang Feng practiced the body tempering technique once. Ding! You practice the body tempering technique once, and the return of the practice effect is 10,000 times, and your strength and speed are doubled. At this time, a crisp reminder sounded in Yang Feng's mind. An invisible force entered Yang Feng's body and began to strengthen Yang Feng's body. When the invisible force retreated, Yang Feng's strength and speed doubled. I am a 4th-level body refinement warrior, with 40 kilograms of strength. Now, my strength has doubled. Doesn't it mean I have 80 kilograms of strength? Also, my strength has increased so much at once, but I don't feel hungry at all. This shows that the energy of the 10,000-fold return effect is provided by the system, and I don't need to consume my own energy. I can practice continuously without worrying about my body being sucked dry and dying. Feeling the surging power in his body, Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a gleam of light, and he muttered secretly in his heart, and continued to practice the body tempering technique. Ding! You have practiced the body tempering technique once, and the training effect is returned 10,000 times. Your strength and speed have reached the limit of the body tempering technique. Please change to a more advanced method. When Yang Feng finished practicing the body tempering technique for the second time, a crisp reminder sounded in Yang Feng's mind. An invisible force entered Yang Feng's body and strengthened his body. When the invisible force retreated, Yang Feng's strength and speed reached the limit of the body tempering technique. A stream of pure true qi grew in his dantian, allowing him to directly break through the bottleneck of the body refining realm and be promoted to a true qi realm warrior. The effect of the 10,000 times return is so powerful. I only practiced the tempering body art twice, and I was directly promoted to a qi realm warrior, becoming the strongest of the younger generation of the Yang family in Xuanhuan City. I don't have any qi realm skills at hand for the time being, so I just show my qi realm cultivation and go to the qi realm pavilion to get a qi realm skill. However, the family qi realm pavilion will open for more than an hour. I can practice martial arts during this time. Feeling the surging power in his body and the rich qi in his dantian, Yang Feng's eyes flashed with excitement and expectation. He sighed in his heart and began to practice the martial arts tiger fist. The tiger fist is the basic martial arts practiced by the younger generation of the Yang family in Xuanhuan City. When practicing to the great success, you can understand the meaning of the tiger fist. When you punch out, the tiger will follow you, which is extremely powerful. However, the practice of the Tiger Fist is extremely cumbersome. It takes a full quarter of an hour to practice it once. It is extremely difficult to practice it to the state of great success and comprehend the meaning of the Tiger Fist. Among the several young disciples of the Yang family in Xuanhuan City, only a dozen or so have practiced the Tiger Fist to the state of small success, and none of them have practiced it to the state of great success and comprehended the meaning of the Tiger Fist. This shows how difficult it is to practice the Tiger Fist to the state of great success and comprehend the meaning of the Tiger Fist. Ding! You practiced the Tiger Fist once, and the practice effect returned 10,000 times. Your Tiger Fist has reached the state of great success, comprehended the meaning of the Tiger Fist, and the power has doubled. After Yang Junqing performed the Tiger Fist once, a crisp reminder sounded in his mind, countless memories of the Tiger Fist appeared in his mind, allowing him to instantly comprehend the meaning of the Tiger Fist and practice the Tiger Fist to the state of great success. At this time, if Yang Feng wanted, he could use the fierce Tiger Fist at any time, and his combat power would soar. After feeling the fierce Tiger Fist in his mind, Yang Feng showed an excited smile on his face, and said with a sigh that the system was awesome, and began to practice the Yang family's basic martial arts, Shadowless Step. Ding! You practiced Shadowless Step once, and the training effect was returned 10,000 times. Your Shadowless Step has reached the state of great success, and you have comprehended the mystery of Shadowless Step. Once you move, you will be invisible. After Yang Feng practiced the Shadowless Step, a clear reminder sounded in his mind, countless memories of the Shadowless Step appeared in Yang Feng's mind, allowing him to practice the Shadowless Step to the state of perfection. With a move of his body, he could turn into countless afterimages, making it impossible to catch. Ding! 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 At this moment, a series of clear bells came from the edge of the martial arts field, making the men and women practicing in the martial arts field look at the source of the sound involuntarily, only to see that the instructor Yang Hui, wearing a black tight combat uniform, held a big gong and drum and kept beating it. Assemble! Not seeing that several men and women in the martial arts field had their eyes on him, Yang Hui put down the big gong and drum in his hand and shouted loudly. Then, several men and women in the martial arts arena stopped practicing and quickly ran to Yang Lin's side. I received a notice from my family that the elders of Xuantian's sect have come to our Xuanhuan city and are visiting the city mansion. In an hour, the elders of Xuantian's sect will come to our Yang family as guests and select some outstanding disciples from our Yang family to go to Xuantian's sect for training. You all have a good rest, get ready, and wait for the selection of the elders of Xuantian's sect. All those selected by the elders of Xuantian's sect can receive generous rewards from the family, and their parents will also receive special care from the family and live a rich life. Looking at the several men and women in front of him, Yang Hui said solemnly. Chapter 2 Bronze Puppet. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Xuantian sect is one of the 5 major forces in our Xuantian territory, commanding hundreds of millions of miles of territory in countless countries. If we can join the Xuantian sect, we will be prosperous. I heard that the Xuantian sect has extremely high requirements for its disciples. Even the lowest level handyman disciples must have a cultivation level above the 7th level. It is extremely difficult to enter them. I just broke through to the 7th level of body refining a month ago. Maybe I can pass Xuantian sect's assessment and become a disciple of Xuantian sect. I am only at the 6th level of physical training. It is extremely difficult to pass the Xuantian sect's assessment. As soon as Yang Hui finished speaking, hundreds of boys and girls in the Yang family's martial arts arena started talking loudly, their eyes full of excitement, longing and anticipation. The Xuantian sect is one of the 5 major forces in the Xuantian territory. It controls hundreds of millions of miles of territory, and has as many strong men as its subordinates. It is also the top powerhouse in the Xuantian realm to suppress luck. It dominates the Xuantian territory for millions of people without falling. It has a rich foundation. Extremely profound. If I can join Xuantian sect, with the help of Xuantian sect's resources, and with the help of the 10,000 times return system of cultivation effects, I will definitely be able to rise quickly, become an invincible strongman, and have a long life. that when everyone was exclaiming and talking, Yang Feng thought about it secretly in his heart and prepared to perform well later and join the Xuantian sect. The fantasy world that Yang Feng travels through is called Tianwu continent, which consists of 5 states in the southeast, northwest, and northwest. Each state has 81 domains, and each domain has a territory of hundreds of millions of miles. There are many countries, many forces, strict hierarchies, and constant disputes. The cultivators on Tianwu continent are called warriors and monks. Among them, the 4 major realms of warriors are the body refining realm, the true energy realm, the true yuan realm, and the ganqi realm. Once a warrior's gang qi enters his brain, opens up the sea of consciousness, and generates magical power, he can become a monk. There are many realms for monks, including the 11 realms of magic power, yin and yang, heaven and man, magical power, golden elixir, Xuanhuan, Xuantian, law. Cave heaven, virtual immortal and true immortal. The Xuanhuan city where Yang Feng is located is a city in the Liyan kingdom under the Xuantian territory. The strongest people can only cultivate to the mana realm, and the best cultivation techniques can only be cultivated to the mana realm. If cultivators in Xuanhuan city want to cultivate to a higher level, they must find more advanced techniques and join stronger forces. Therefore, Yang Feng wanted to join the Xuantian sect and obtain resources such as advanced martial arts and martial arts from the Xuantian sect. Time flies by like running water. In the blink of an eye, an hour passes. At this time, an old man wearing a green robe, accompanied by Yang Hao, the Yang family member, and several boys and girls came to the Yang family martial arts field. I am Zhao Hai, the outer elder of the Xuantian sect, and I am going to select some outstanding talents from among you to join our Xuantian sect. Those who have confidence in themselves can step onto the stage and compete with the bronze puppets of our Xuantian sect. Anyone who can survive the attack of the bronze puppet for 1 minute can join our Xuantian sect and become a handyman disciple of our Xuantian sect. Those who can survive the attack of the bronze puppet for a quarter of an hour or defeat the bronze puppet can become our outer disciples of Xuantian sect. The green-robed old man glanced at the hundreds of Yang family disciples in the martial arts arena. With a wave of his hand, a stream of light flew out from his body and landed on the martial arts arena, forming a circular arena with a radius of 3 feet. Above this circular arena stood a bronze puppet about 10 feet tall, wearing bronze armor. I'll do it. As soon as Zhao Hai finished speaking, a young man from the Yang family wearing brocade clothes shouted, jumped out of the crowd, jumped up, and jumped onto the ring. Yang Kuei is a genius of our Yang family. At only 15 years old, he has reached the 7th level of body refining. I don't know if he can pass the bronze puppet test. Looking at Yang Kuei's confident look, he should be able to pass the bronze puppet test. That's not necessarily true. Xuantian sect's bronze puppet is so powerful that it's not that easy to resist. Seeing the actions of the handsome young man, the disciples of the Yang family in the martial arts field started talking. While the disciples of the Yang family were discussing, the bronze puppet on the stage suddenly opened his eyes. With a flash of his body, he turned into a cyan afterimage, swung his big fist and struck at Yang Kuei's body, bang. In a crisp sound, the fist of the bronze puppet gnawed to hit Yang Kuei's chest with horrified eyes, causing it to let out a shrill scream and was thrown to the top of the ring, fiercely. He fell to the ground and spit out a large amount of bright red blood. Yang Kuei was seriously injured by a punch from the bronze puppet. This is incredible. Yang Kuei is a warrior at the 7th level of body refining. Even if he loses to the bronze puppet, he shouldn't be severely damaged by the bronze puppet's move. The bronze puppet is too cruel. I originally wanted to go up there and give it a try, but now I have to give up. Seeing Yang Kuei being punched out of the ring by the bronze puppet, severely injured and vomiting blood, the Yang family disciples' expressions changed drastically and they couldn't help but exclaimed. Some of the 6th level body refining warriors who were eager to try their luck immediately felt so cold that they gave up the idea of trying it out. Let me meet the bronze puppet. While everyone was discussing, a young man wearing a cyan combat uniform shouted, jumped out of the crowd, jumped up, and jumped onto the circular ring. Yang Tian is on the stage. Yang Tian is the #1 genius of our Yang family. At only 18 years old, he has reached the peak of the 9th level of body refining. He will definitely be able to defeat the bronze puppet and join the Xuantian sect. It is said that Yang Tian has perfected the shadowless step to the point where he can transform into countless afterimages with just a single movement of his body, making it impossible for anyone to catch him. As soon as the young man in green came on the stage, the boys and girls of the Yang family in the martial arts arena started shouting loudly, their eyes filled with excitement and anticipation. At this time, the bronze puppet on the stage opened his eyes wide and stared at Yang Tian. With a flash of his body, he turned into a blue afterimage and rushed towards Yang Tian, facing the attack of the bronze puppet. Yang Tian's expression remained unchanged, and he immediately used the Yang family's martial arts shadowless step, turning into a cyan afterimage, and easily dodged the attack of the bronze puppet. After that, Yang Tian used the Desheng-level shadowless step, which turned into countless cyan afterimages, making it impossible for the bronze puppet to attack his body. And he easily lasted on the ring for a quarter of an hour. That's right. If you pass the examination, you can become an outer disciple of our Xuantian sect. Come to me. Seeing this scene, Zhao Hai nodded and praised softly. After hearing Zhao Hai's words, Yang Tian immediately jumped off the ring, walked quickly behind Zhao Hai, and stood side by side with several boys and girls. In the following period, more than 10 boys and girls from the Yang family's 7th and 8th levels of physical training stepped onto the ring one after another. In the end, a girl at the 7th level of body refining and 3 boys at the 8th level of body refining were able to persist for more than an hour under the attack of the bronze puppet and became the handyman disciples of the Xuantian sect. Seeing that no one was on the stage, Yang Feng jumped up and jumped onto the ring. Why is Yang Feng, a warrior at the 4th level of body refining, going up there? Aren't you afraid of being punched to death by a bronze puppet? Isn't Yang Feng a 4th level body refining warrior? How dare he enter the ring? Yang Feng is usually quite calm, but since he dares to go into the ring, he must have nothing to rely on. As soon as Yang Feng stepped onto the ring, the Yang family disciples below all exclaimed, with surprise and confusion in their eyes, window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 3 Tiger Fist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As an elder of Xuantian sect, Zhao Hai has excellent eyesight. When he entered the Yang family's martial arts field, he discovered Yang Feng, a true energy realm warrior. Therefore, when hundreds of young people from the Yang family were exclaiming, Zhao Hai's, the elder of Xuantian sect not far away, his eyes lit up and his face showed an expectant look, whoosh. In the midst of a crisp sound breaking through the air, the bronze puppet moved, transformed into a cyan afterimage, and rushed towards Yang Feng's side. Nuada's fist moved towards Yang Feng's body with the sound of howling wind and terrifying power. The head was bombarded away. The bronze puppet possesses the strength of the 9th level of body refining. It can lift a weight of 900 kilograms with one arm, and its fist strength far exceeds 1 kilogram. Once the bronze puppet's fist falls on Yang Feng's head, it will definitely smash Yang Feng's head to pieces and cause him to die tragically on the spot. Yang Feng won't be frightened, right? Why is Yang Feng standing there motionless? Is he scared out of his wits? Yang Feng, get away quickly. Get out of the way. Seeing that Yang Feng seemed to be stunned and motionless in the ring, the hundreds of Yang family brothers below all changed their expressions and screamed loudly. Tiger Fist. But when everyone was exclaiming, Yang Feng let out a soft drink, his true energy surged in his body, and he used the Tiger Fist to greet the bronze puppet. Roar. 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 Suddenly, I saw loud roars of tigers coming from the ring. The phantom of a tiger condensed above Yang Feng's head, and with the swing of his fist, it rushed towards the bronze puppet. Bang. In a crisp sound, Yang Feng's fist and the bronze puppet's fist collided together. The terrifying power suddenly broke out, directly smashing the bronze puppet's fist into pieces, and then bombarded the bronze puppet's chest with unabated force, causing it to fly backwards and fall hard outside the ring. Tiger Fist intent. Yang Feng has cultivated Tiger Fist to the level of Daiqingcheng. With one punch, the bronze puppet was seriously injured and sent flying. Yang Feng should be promoted to a true Qi realm warrior. Yang Feng is actually a true energy warrior, it's really shocking. I thought Yang Feng was a 4th level body refining warrior. I didn't expect that he was actually a true Qi warrior. This is unbelievable. Yang Feng is an ordinary member of the family. He has no money to buy precious body tempering potions. How could he reach the true Qi realm at the age of 16? Seeing Yang Feng severely injuring the bronze puppet and sending it flying with one punch, the hundreds of Yang family brothers below all showed shocked expressions and started talking involuntarily, their eyes filled with disbelief. Good. Very good. Very good. Yang Feng, from now on, you are the outer disciple of our Xuantian sect. This is the space ring I eliminated. It contains 100 cubic spaces. I give it to you as a meeting gift. Zhao Hai moved and landed on the ring. He took out a space ring from his arms and handed it to Yang Feng. Thank you, Elder Zhang, for the reward. I will keep it in my heart, little. I will surely be richly rewarded in the future. Yang Feng took the space ring and thanked him loudly with a grateful look on his face. Space rings are extremely precious items. Generally, only monks and warriors with a profound background can have space rings. The Yang family, one of the 3 major families in Xuanhuan City, also has space rings owned by its heads and some ancestors who are secluded and indifferent to worldly affairs. This shows how precious the space ring is and how generous Zhao Hai is, of course. It can also be seen from this how much Zhao Hai values Yang Feng and how high his expectations for Yang Feng are. Otherwise, how could Zhao Hai, who was meeting for the first time, give Yang Feng such a precious gift? Yang Feng, I will return to Xuantian sect in the afternoon. I will give you 1 afternoon to deal with household matters. When you finish taking care of your family affairs, go to the Lord's mansion of Xuanhuan City to find me, and come with me to Xuantian sect to practice. Seeing Yang Feng's movements and hearing his words, Zhao Hai flashed a faint smile in his eyes and said softly, Yes, Elder Zhao. Yang Feng responded respectfully. After getting Yang Feng's affirmative answer, Zhao Hai said hello to Yang Hao, the head of the Yang family, put away the ring, took several boys and girls, as well as Yang Tian and other Yang family's younger brothers, and left the Yang family's martial arts arena. He walked towards the direction of the Xuanhuan City Lord's mansion. Yang Feng, Elder Zhao values you very much. I hope that after you enter Xuantian sect, you will work hard to practice and live up to Elder Zhao's expectations of you. I will arrange a well-paid and relaxed for your parents, so that they can live a life of fine clothes and fine food, and solve your worries. At the same time, if you have any requests, you can also put them forward. Our Yang family can do everything we can to satisfy you. After Zhao Hai left, Yang Hao, the head of the Yang family, walked quickly to Yang Feng and said with a smile on his face, Master, I want to enter the family Kung Fu pavilion and choose some Kung Fu and martial arts to practice. Yang Feng responded without hesitation. With my token, you can directly enter the Kung Fu pavilion and choose the Kung Fu and martial arts inside at will. Yang Hao took out a token from his arms and handed it to Yang Feng. Thank you, Master. Yang Feng took the token from Yang Hao, thanked him, and left the martial arts arena amidst the envious eyes of many Yang family brothers. Soon, Yang Feng arrived at the Yang family Kung Fu pavilion. At this time, the door of the Gongfa pavilion was closed, and a faint light curtain enveloped the entire Gongfa pavilion, preventing outsiders from entering. Seeing this, Yang Feng's expression did not change. He walked quickly to the door of the Gongfa pavilion, took out Yang Hao's token from the space ring, and placed it on the light curtain. Sensing the magic array on the token, the light curtain immediately contracted, revealing a light gate about 10 feet wide and 2 meters high at the entrance of the Gongfa pavilion. Yang Feng took a look at the light gate and walked directly in, then pushed open the door of the Gongfa pavilion and entered the Gongfa pavilion. The Yang family Gongfa pavilion is divided into 6 floors. The first floor is various travel notes, historical stories, and other miscellaneous books. The second to sixth floors are the martial arts of the body refining realm, the true Qi realm, the true spirit realm, the Gongqi realm, and the magic power realm. After Yang Feng entered the Gongfa pavilion, he did not stop at the first floor, but went straight to the third floor to find suitable Qi realm Gongfa and martial arts. The Yang family has quite a few Qi realm Gongfa and martial arts, more than hundreds of them. Looking at the bookshelves on the third floor of the Gongfa pavilion and the dazzling array of books on the bookshelves, Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a gleam, and he sighed softly. After sighing, Yang Feng walked to a bookshelf and began to flip through the Gongfa and martial arts on it. Chapter 4 Dragon Elephant Kung Fu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Flame palm. After practicing to the point of perfection, you can shoot it with one palm, and it will have a flame-burning effect. Kamikaze legs. After practicing to the point of perfection, your legs are like the wind, coming and going without a trace. Barbarian bull strength. After cultivating to the point of perfection, one has the strength of a barbarian bull, and one punch is like a barbarian bull trampling him. Dragon Elephant Kung Fu, the top body training technique. Every time you run the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu, your strength will increase by 1 kilogram. The more times you run the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu, the more your strength will increase until you have the power of 1 dragon and 1 elephant. Note, it takes an hour to run the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu once. The training speed is too slow. It is not recommended to use the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu as a major technique. It is recommended to use the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu as a minor technique. Dragon Elephant technique has the highest upper limit. Just practice Dragon Elephant technique. After flipping through dozens of exercises, Yang Feng focused on the Dragon Elephant skill and whispered to himself, in Tianwu continent, the power of a dragon refers to the power possessed by a heavenly dragon, the power of an elephant refers to the power possessed by a wild elephant. The power of a bull refers to the power possessed by a bull has a strength of about 100,000 kilograms, the power of an elephant is equivalent to the power of 10,000 oxen. The power of 1 dragon is equivalent to the power of 10,000 things. When the dragon elephant skill is cultivated to its peak, the practitioner can possess the power of 1 dragon and 1 elephant, and the upper limit is extremely high, in terms of strength. Dragon Elephant Kung Fu is not inferior to many monks' Kung Fu that can be practiced to the magic realm or even higher realms. Of course, the shortcoming of Dragon Elephant skill is obvious, that is, the speed of practice is too slow. Run once an hour to increase strength by 1 kilogram. If you practice for 10 hours a day, your strength will increase by 10 kilograms. If you practice non-stop for a year and practice 10 hours a day, you can gain 4,338 kilograms. After 10 years of continuous practice and 10 hours of practice every day, you can increase your strength by 43,008 kilograms, although gaining more than 40,000 kilograms of strength in 10 years is good. It is really a waste of time for many geniuses with good training talents. After all, in 10 years, many geniuses can cultivate to the level of magic power, possess the power of 10 oxen, and their lives can be transformed, with a lifespan of 5 years. Only by cultivating the Dragon Elephant skill to its peak and condensing the body of the Dragon Elephant can one's life be transformed and have a longer lifespan. As for cultivating the Dragon Elephant skill to the peak, no one has thought about it at all. Because it is impossible. The inability to transform life and have a longer lifespan is the biggest shortcoming of Dragon Elephant Kung Fu. This is the reason why Dragon Elephant Kung Fu is rated as a true Qi realm Kung Fu and is used by true Qi realm warriors for body training. However, the Dragon Elephant technique is an extremely useless body training technique for others, but for Yang Feng, it is a very terrifying and powerful top-level body training technique that can quickly improve his strength and combat effectiveness. After making a decision, Yang Feng picked up the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu and studied it carefully. After Yang Feng memorized the content of Dragon Elephant Kung Fu, he placed the Dragon Elephant Kung Fu on the bookshelf and began to practice on the training table on the side of the Kung Fu pavilion. Ding! You practice the Dragon Elephant skill once, and the training effect will be returned 10,000 times, and your strength will increase by 10,000 kilograms. After Yang Junqing practiced the Dragon Elephant skill once, a clear reminder sounded in his mind. Immediately afterwards, waves of terrifying power emerged from Yang Feng's body, increasing his strength by 10,000 kilograms. A monk in the initial magic power realm only has the strength of 10 oxen and the strength of 10,000 kilograms. If you practice Dragon Elephant Kung Fu for 10 hours a day, you can increase your strength by 100,000 kilograms in one day. In 1 month, I can increase my strength by 360,000 kilograms, and have the strength of 36 oxen, which is more powerful than a monk in the first level of magic power. Hearing the system prompt and feeling the surging power in his body, Yang Feng's eyes flashed and he muttered with excitement and expectation on his face. After muttering, Yang Feng left the Kung Fu pavilion and walked towards his home. Xiao Feng, Xuantian sect is one of the 5 forces in our Xuantian domain. They are as strong as clouds and as talented as rain. After you enter Xuantian sect, you must keep a low profile and try not to have arguments or conflicts with others. As the saying goes, take a step back and the sky is brighter. You have to be patient in everything and don't fight with others. In whatever you do, your own safety must be your top priority. It's something that may endanger your own safety. No matter how much the reward is, don't do it. And your mother don't have high expectations for you. They don't ask you to become a peerless strong man. They just hope that you can come back alive. Yang De looked at the childish-looking Yang Feng and explained with a serious look on his face. Xiao Feng, you must remember clearly what your father said and come back safely. Yang's mother, Zhao Xia, said to Yang Feng solemnly. Father, mother, don't worry, your son will come back safely. Also, since your son is no longer with you, you can give birth to a younger brother and sister so that they can stay with you so that you will not be too lonely. Yang Feng looked at his parents with a smile on his face and said. After saying that, Yang Feng waved goodbye to his parents and walked towards the city lord's mansion. Not long after Yang Feng left the house, he was stopped by Yang Hao, the head of the Yang family. Yang Feng, here are 10 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan and a gold ticket of 10,000 gold coins. It's a little tribute from the family. You can accept it. As the strongest person and genius of the younger generation of the Yang family in Xuanhuan City, after you arrive at Xuantian sect, you will try your best to take care of the Yang family disciples in Xuanhuan City within your ability. As for your parents, you don't have to worry. Our Yang family in Xuanhuan City will definitely take good care of your parents and let them live a wealthy life with rich clothes and food. Finally, I hope you can succeed in Xuantian sect and become an inner disciple of Xuantian sect, or even a true disciple. Yang Hao handed a package to Yang Feng and said. Yang Feng took the package, put it away with the space ring, and said, Master, as a member of the Yang family in Yangxia Guangcheng, you will take care of the disciples of the Yang family in the Xuantian sect. After you are promoted to a true disciple of the Xuantian sect and gain a certain degree of power, you will select some outstanding disciples from the Yang family in Xuanhuan City to enter the Xuantian sect to practice and cultivate a group of strong men for the Yang family in Xuanhuan City. After getting Yang Feng's affirmative answer, Yang Hao showed a happy smile on his face, encouraged Yang Feng with a few words, and then let Yang Feng leave. After bidding farewell to Yang Hao, the head of the Yang family, Yang Feng went to the main palace of Xuanhuan City, found Xuantian sect elder Zhao Hai, took Zhao Hai's spiritual weapon flying boat, and flew away in the direction of Xuantian sect. Chapter 5 Getting Started and Benefits. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5, Doors and Welfare. Do you see the city below? Then Xuantian City, where our outer disciples of the Xuantian sect live. Xuantian City is located at the foot of the Xuantian Mountains and is divided into the main city area and 5 urban areas, southeast, northwest and northwest. Among them, the main city is located in the center of Xuantian City. Major buildings such as the Sutra Pavilion, the Internal Affairs Hall, the Mission Hall, the Pill Hall, and the Weapon Refining Hall are all located in the main city. The 4 urban districts of southeast, northwest and northwest are distributed around the main urban area and are located in the 4 directions of Xuantian sect, southeast, northwest and north. There are 4 residential areas for the outer sect members, East Courtyard, South Courtyard, West Courtyard and North Courtyard. First, Take the outer disciples to the Internal Affairs Hall of Xuantian City to go through the formalities, and then take the handyman disciples to the Xuantian sect headquarters for selection by the major inner disciples and true disciples of the Xuantian sect. Zhao Hai pointed at the huge city below the spiritual weapon flying boat and introduced it to young Feng and other boys and girls. As he spoke, Zhao Hai controlled the spiritual weapon flying boat and flew down in front of a magnificent internal affairs palace in the center of Xuantian City. After that, Zhao Hai asked Yang Feng and others to get off the spirit weapon flying boat, put away the spirit weapon flying boat, and led Yang Feng and his group to the Internal Affairs Hall. Old Wang, we are 8 outer disciples recruited from Xuanhuan City of the Flame Kingdom. Please go through the formalities for us. After the group of people arrived at the depths of the Internal Affairs Hall, Zhao Hai said to an old man in white with a smile on his face. Old Zhao, are there any good seedlings among us? The old man in white glanced at Yang Feng and others and asked Zhao Hai. Old Wang, this Yang Feng is a good seedling, and he has the hope of being promoted to his true successor. You can invest in it in advance. Zhao Hai pointed at Yang Feng and said. Old Zhao, you recommended a good seedling, how could I not invest in it? Yang Feng, this amulet is given to you. It can help you resist 3 attacks from magic monks. The old man in white took out from the space ring and handed it to Yang Feng Dao. Thank you, Elder Wang, for the reward. I will definitely keep it in my heart, little. Yang Feng took the handed over by the old man in white, put it into the space ring, and thanked him with an excited look on his face. Old Zhao, you actually gave the eliminated space ring to Yang Feng. The cost is quite big. When the old man in white saw Yang Feng's actions, his eyes lit up and he said to Zhao Hai who was standing aside. Old Wang, do you want to invest? The greater the investment, the greater the rewards. You only invest in a talisman. When Yang Feng is promoted to true disciple, your gains will not be as big. Zhao Hai said in a calm tone. Old Zhao, I don't have as much capital as you. Investing in a talisman is already the limit. The old man in white shook his head gently and said. After saying that, the old man in white began to go through the formalities for the 8 Yang Feng people. Zhao Hai said hello to Yang Feng and left with his handyman brother. Yang Feng reports to the East Courtyard, and everyone else reports to the West Courtyard. A quarter of an hour later, the old man in white handed 8 tokens of the outer disciples to Yang Feng. Elder Wang. Yang Feng and the other 8 people took the token from the outer disciple, responded respectfully, and walked towards the outer gate of the Internal Affairs Hall. Yang Tian, if you encounter any trouble, you can go to the East Courtyard to find me. After the 8 people walked to the door of the Internal Affairs Hall, Yang Feng said hello to Yang Tian and walked straight towards the East Courtyard. Yang Tian and the other 6 people walked towards the West Courtyard together. This is the place where the outer disciples of the Xuantian sect live. No one is allowed to enter, but when Yang Feng came to the East Courtyard and was about to enter, 2 guards wearing fine armor and holding fine weapons stepped forward and blocked Yang Feng's way. The outer disciple of Gang's sect, please come to the East Courtyard to report. Yang Feng took out the token of his outer disciple from his arms and waved it in front of the 2 guards. Take you to report to the East Dean's office. After carefully looking at the token in Yang Feng's hand, a guard said in a respectful tone. After saying that, the guard led Yang Feng towards the East Courtyard. Soon, Yang Feng followed the guard to a palace in the East Courtyard. At this time, the guard quickly stepped forward, came to an old man in black, and said in a respectful tone, Elder Qin, there is an outer disciple of the new sect here to report. I know, go down. The old man in black waved his hand casually and asked the guard to leave. After that, the old man in black cast his eyes on Yang Feng and said in a calm tone, show your outer disciple the token. Elder Qin. Yang Feng responded quickly, took a step forward, and handed over the outer disciple's token. The old man in black took the outer disciple's token, looked at it casually, walked to the warehouse behind him, took out a bronze box, put it in front of Yang Feng and said. This box contains your family's benefits, including a sect manual, 3 exercises, 2 sets of clothing for the outer disciples, a Qingfeng sword, a bottle of Xuanhuan Dan, a dormitory key, and a tool to stop bleeding. 1 talisman, 1 dust-removing talisman, 1 magical talisman, and 1 water-condensing talisman. The sect's manual records the sect's various sect rules, information about the major forces and major spirits in Xuantian domain. The 3 books of Kung Fu are the first 3 levels of Xuantian Ju, the first 3 levels of Xuantian body training technique, and the first 3 levels of Xuantian sword technique. Among them, Xuantian Ju is our Xuantian sect secret skill, and it is also a technique that all our Xuantian sect disciples must practice. After you have reached the Dharma realm, you can apply to participate in the examination of the inner sect disciples. Obtain the follow-up skills of Xuantian Ju. Xuantian body training technique, our Xuantian sect's body training technique, can greatly improve the physical strength of our Xuantian sect disciples. Whether or not to practice it depends on personal choice, there is no requirement. The Xuantian sword technique is the most powerful sword technique of the Xuantian sect. It is extremely powerful. It is divided into 3 levels and 6 levels. The first 3 levels do not involve any techniques. They are also necessary skills for the outer disciples. My disciples' main attack method. Outer disciples, Xuantian's own clothes, use Xuantian sect silk as the main material, combined with several other precious materials, to make unique quasi-ceremonial clothes, which are not only warm in winter but cool in summer. The Feng sword is a quasi-magical weapon made of Xuantian sect's black iron as the main material and refined with several kinds of precious metals. It is extremely sharp and can penetrate gold and break through the Gang Chi protection of the Gang Chi warriors. The cover is so fierce. Xuanhuan Dan contains pure energy, which can speed up the cultivation speed of warriors in the Gang Chi realm. The dormitory key can help you open the door to your dormitory. Without your permission, others cannot enter your dormitory. You only need to look at their names to know the functions of the bleeding talisman, dust removal talisman, divine movement talisman, and water condensing talisman. Check the items inside and make sure they are correct, then you can leave. After hearing the words of the old man in black, Yang Feng reached out to open the bronze box, checked briefly, and after confirming that the items inside were correct, he waved his hand, put them into the space ring, turned around and walked out of the palace. Space ring. It seems that we have another good genius in the East Courtyard. Seeing Yang Feng's actions, a look of surprise flashed in the eyes of the old man in black, and he sighed softly. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target _type, mix. Chapter 6, Suppressed with One Punch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The East Courtyard is so big, I don't know how many outer disciples live there. Walking on the spacious road, looking at the densely packed single-family buildings on both sides of the road, a look of surprise flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he sighed softly. A quarter of an hour later, Yang Feng came to a single-family building, looked at the number on it, took out the dormitory key, and placed it on a light mask in front of the single-family building. Immediately afterwards, the mask in front of the single-family building automatically shrank, revealing a gate more than 2 meters high and 1 foot wide. Junior brother, you look very unfamiliar. You must be a new outer disciple. At this time, 3 people wearing the clothes of Xuantian sect's outer disciples, with long swords hanging on their waists, walked quickly to Yang Feng. That's right. I am a new outer disciple. Yang Feng responded with a calm tone. Junior brother, according to the rules of our outer disciples of Xuantian sect, this street is the territory of the 3 of us brothers. As a resident of this street, you must give us all the 10 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan you obtained as a protection fee. At the same time, you must provide us with 2 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan as protection fee every month. Of course, if you encounter any trouble in the East Courtyard, you can ask us for help, and the 3 of us brothers will help you. The 3 skilled practitioners spread out and surrounded Yang Feng faintly. Protection money? Are you kidding me? Yang Feng frowned slightly and said in a cold tone. Junior brother, it seems that you won't shed tears until you see the coffin. If I don't teach you a profound lesson, you won't understand the rules. After listening to Yang Feng's words, the leader said with a smile on his face. As he spoke, the leader took a step forward and formed a fist with his right hand. A faint red halo appeared on his right fist and struck Yang Feng's chest with terrifying power. Facing the leader's attack, Yang Feng's expression remained unchanged, his right hand formed a fist, and he went straight to meet him. Bang! In a crisp sound, Yang Feng's fists collided with those of the leader. The terrifying power of 10,000 kilograms suddenly broke out, causing the leader's wrist to break instantly, his body to fly backwards, and he fell to the ground hard, letting out a shrill scream. Immediately afterwards, Yang Feng's figure was like lightning, and he approached the other two like lightning. Under the shocked eyes of the two, he blasted them away, shattering their sternums and falling to the ground. There was a shrill scream. After that, Yang Feng walked quickly in front of the three people and started searching them. Soon, Yang Feng seized more than 100 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan and 180,000 gold coins from the three of them. These Xuanhuan pills and golden tickets should be regarded as your threats to pay for my mental losses. Yang Feng put more than 100 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan and 180,000 gold coins into the space ring. He chuckled at the three men, opened the dormitory door, and walked in. Space ring. We are kicking the bucket. Seeing Yang Feng's movements, the leader flashed a bitter look in his eyes and sighed helplessly. After sighing, the leader stood up, helped the other two up, and walked away. Xuantian City is not at peace. If I hadn't practiced the dragon elephant kung fu, not only would I have been beaten today, but I would also have had my essence pill taken away. We must improve our strength as soon as possible, otherwise it will be difficult to get along in Xuantian City. After closing the door of the dormitory, Yang Feng sighed casually and began to check the situation of the dormitory. I have to say that the dormitory for the outer disciples of Xuantian sect is pretty good. Not only is the area large, more than 100 square meters, but it is also fully equipped with independent bathroom, training room, lounge, wooden bed, wardrobe, bedding and other items. The most important thing is that the vitality of heaven and earth in the dormitory is obviously much richer than that in the outside world. The efficiency of practicing in the dormitory is several times that of the outside world. After checking the situation in the dormitory, Yang Feng casually sat on a comfortable armchair, took out the sect manual, and studied it carefully. As a new outer sect disciple, being familiar with the sect's rules and regulations and avoiding them is one of the basic skills. You must study them carefully and become familiar with them. Soon, Yang Feng carefully read the rules and regulations of the Xuantian sect and gained a simple understanding of the Xuantian sect. As one of the major forces in Xuantian domain, Xuantian sect has strict rules and clear hierarchy. Xuantian sect disciples are divided into handyman disciples, outer disciples, inner disciples and true disciples. In addition to disciples, Xuantian sect also has outer sect elders, inner sect elders, deputy sect masters, and sect masters. The handyman disciples say they are disciples, but in fact they are just servants. They mainly serve the inner disciples and true disciples. Life and death are controlled in the hands of the inner disciples and true disciples. If they are not careful, the inner disciples and true disciples may die. In the hands of the true disciple, of course, if the handyman disciple performs better and wins the favor of the inner disciples and true disciples, he can get a lot of rewards, and even have the opportunity to become an outer disciple of the sect and climb up the ladder further. The outer disciples are the lowest disciples of Xuantian sect, with the largest number, numbering hundreds of thousands. Outer disciples have independent dormitories, and can receive 3 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan every month as basic benefits. They can accept tasks in the mission hall and obtain sect contribution points. After that, outer disciples can use the sect contribution points to exchange techniques at the technique pavilion, exchange pills at the pill hall, exchange weapons and equipment at the weapon refining hall, etc. Outer disciples will undergo a strength test every year, and those who fail to meet the standard will be cleared out. Inner disciples are the backbone of Xuantian sect. Each of them has the strength of the magic power realm and above. They can have an independent palace in the Xuantian vein as a place for cultivation, and cooperate with a certain number of chores. If an inner disciple gives up the opportunity to become a true disciple, he can apply to become an outer elder. True disciples are the core force of Xuantian sect and the future of Xuantian sect. Each of them has the strength of Jindan realm and above. They can own an independent peak in Xuantian sect and are eligible to compete for the position of Xuantian sect master. If a true disciple gives up the opportunity to become the Xuantian sect master, he can apply to become an inner sect elder, which is a high position and power. After the true disciple cultivates to the law realm, he automatically becomes the deputy sect master of Xuantian sect and holds the power of one side. The sect master of Xuantian sect is changed every 1,000 years. And the best is selected from many deputy sect masters. After memorizing the rules and regulations of Xuantian sect, Yang Feng took out the first 3 levels of Xuantian Ju and studied them carefully. Soon, Yang Feng finished studying the content of the first level of Xuantian Ju, understood it thoroughly, and began to practice. Ding! You practiced Xuantian Ju once, and the training effect returned was 10,000 times, and your qi increased 100 times. That when Yang Feng practiced Xuantian Ju once, a crisp reminder sounded in his mind. Then, a stream of pure qi grew from Yang Feng's dantian, filling up the qi in his dantian instantly, allowing Yang Feng to easily advance from a qi realm warrior in the early stage to a qi realm warrior in the late stage, and his cultivation strength increased greatly. Chapter 7 Rapid Progress. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding! You have practiced Xuantian Ju once, and the return of the practice effect is 10,000 times. Your true qi has doubled, reaching the limit of the first level of Xuantian Ju. Please practice the second level of Xuantian Ju. After Yang Feng continued to practice Xuantian Ju, a crisp reminder sounded in his mind. Then, a stream of pure true qi nourished from Yang Feng's dantian, filling his dantian, quickly compressing the true essence, making it easy to break through the bottleneck of the true qi realm and be promoted to a true essence realm warrior. Feeling the pure and powerful true essence in his body, Yang Feng's face showed an excited smile, and he immediately stopped practicing and carefully studied the contents of the second level of Xuantian Ju. After thoroughly studying the contents of the second level of Xuantian Ju, Yang Feng began to practice the second level of Xuantian Ju. Ding! You have practiced the second level of Xuantian Ju, and the return of the practice effect is 10,000 times, and your true essence has increased by 10 times. That when Yang Feng practiced the second level of Xuantian Ju, a crisp reminder sounded in his ears. A stream of pure true essence nourished from his dantian, increasing the true essence in his dantian by 10 times, and his cultivation strength was raised to the late stage of the true essence realm. At this time, a strong sense of hunger came from Yang Feng's body, making his head dizzy. He quickly took out a bottle of Xuanhuan Dan, poured out a bottle from it, and swallowed it. As the Xuanhuan Dan went down his stomach, a stream of pure vitality emanated from the Xuanhuan Dan, which made Yang Feng's hunger disappear quickly. His physical strength recovered to the peak, and his spirit recovered as before, without any sense of fatigue. I just practiced the second level of Xuantian Ju once, and I feel so hungry that I must use Xuanhuan Dan to replenish the energy consumed in my body. If the system only returns the effect of practice, but does not provide the energy required for the practice, I will definitely be sucked out of energy in an instant and become jerky. Also, if there is no Xuanhuan Dan to assist, the outer disciples must eat a lot of meat or medicinal materials to replenish energy after practicing the second level of Xuantian Ju, otherwise it will damage the foundation of the body. In other words, without the assistance of Xuanhuan Dan, the outer disciples' practice speed will be very slow. If you want to increase the speed of practice, you must have a lot of Xuanhuan Dan to replenish energy. Feeling the changes in his body, Yang Feng immediately realized the importance of Xuanhuan Dan, and couldn't help but sighed softly. After sighing, Yang Feng continued to practice the second level of Xuantian Ju. Ding! You have practiced the second level of Xuantian Ju, and the return of the practice effect is 10,000 times. Your true essence has doubled and reached the limit of the second level of Xuantian Ju. Please practice the third level of Xuantian Ju. When Yang Feng continued to practice the second level of Xuantian Ju, a crisp reminder sounded in his ears. A stream of pure true essence nourished from his dantian, filling the entire dantian, and automatically compressed the gangqi, which raised his cultivation from the late stage of the true essence realm to the early stage of the gangqi. Hearing the crisp reminder, Yang Feng immediately took out a Xuanhuan pill and swallowed it, and then Began to study the third level of Xuantian Ju. After thoroughly studying the third level of Xuantian Ju, Yang Feng began to practice the third level of Xuantian Ju. However, just as he was practicing the third level of Xuantian Ju, a strong feeling of hunger came from his body, so he quickly swallowed a Xuanhuan pill to replenish the consumed vitality in his body. Later, as soon as Yang Feng felt hungry, he took a Xuanhuan pill to replenish the consumed vitality in his body and continued to practice the third level of Xuantian Ju. After Yang Jun took 3 Xuanhuan pills in a row, he successfully practiced the third level of Xuantian Ju for 1 cycle. Ding! You practiced the third level of Xuantian Ju, and the practice effect returned 10,000 times, and your gangqi increased 10 times, that with a crisp reminder, streams of pure gangqi nourished from Yang Feng's dantian, filling up the gangqi in his dantian instantly. At the same time, Yang Feng's cultivation level also quickly surpassed the middle stage of gangqi from the early stage of gangqi realm to the late stage of gangqi realm. Feeling the surging qi in his body, Yang Feng did not hesitate at all. After taking a Xuanhuan pill, he continued to practice the third level of Xuantian Ju. After taking 5 Xuanhuan pills in a row, Yang Feng once again practiced the third level of Xuantian Ju for a cycle. Ding! You practiced the third level of Xuantian Ju, and the return of the practice effect is 10,000 times, and your qi doubled. With a crisp reminder, a stream of pure qi emerged from Yang Feng's dantian, instantly filling his dantian and automatically heading into his mind. Soon, a trace of mental power emerged from Yang Feng's mind, making him a peak warrior in the qi realm. At this time, Yang Feng did not hesitate at all, and continued to take Xuanhuan pills and practice the third level of Xuantian Ju. However, the gap between the gangqi realm and the mana realm is too big. Yang Feng swallowed all the more than 100 bottles of Xuanhuan pills in his book, but it only greatly increased the mental power in his mind, making it more solid and tough, but he could not open the heavenly gate, open up the sea of consciousness, and generate mana. However, according to Yang Feng's speculation, as long as he took more than 1,000 bottles of Xuanhuan pills, his mental power would reach its peak, and he could easily break through the heavenly gate, open up the sea of consciousness, generate mana, and be promoted to a mana realm cultivator. His life would be transformed and he would have a lifespan of 500 years. Since I don't have the essence pill, I can't continue to practice the Xuantian Ju, so I'll practice the Xuantian sword technique. Yang Feng felt the surging qi in his body, and felt the huge mental power in his mind. He muttered softly, then carefully studied the Xuantian sword technique and began to practice. Ding! You practiced the first level of Xuantian sword technique once, and the practice effect was returned 10,000 times. Your first level of Xuantian sword technique reached the peak level. Ding! You practiced the first level of Xuantian sword technique once, and the practice effect was returned 10,000 times. Your first level of Xuantian sword technique reached the middle level. Ding! You practiced the first level of Xuantian sword technique once, and the practice effect was returned 10,000 times. Your first level of Xuantian sword technique reached the peak level, and comprehended Xuantian sword intent. Brother Feng, I am Yang Tian, please open the door. At this time, Yang Tian's voice came from outside the door, making Yang Feng frown slightly, and immediately stopped practicing, put away the Qin Feng sword, and walked towards the door. Chapter 8 Seeking Help and Taking the Lead. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Tian, who do you belong to? Looking at Yang Tian, who had a bruised nose and swollen face, and several footprints on his body, Yang Feng's eyes flashed fiercely and he asked loudly, although Yang Feng and Yang Tianyu are very familiar with each other, they are brothers of the same family after all, connected by blood and sharing weal and woe. Yang Tian was betrayed by an outsider, and Yang Feng became angry immediately. Brother Feng, he belongs to Zhao Yong, an old disciple of the West Academy. Zhao Yong gave me a beating and robbed me of 10 bottles of Xuanhuan pills. He also told me that I must pay him 2 bottles of Xuanhuan pills every month. I receive bottles of Xuanhuan pills every month. If I pay Zhao Yong 2 bottles of Xuanhuan pills every month, my Xuanhuan pills will be seriously insufficient, my cultivation speed will be slowed down, and I will not be able to pass as an outer disciple. The annual practical test. Therefore, I am looking for Brother Feng, hoping that Brother Feng can help me get back those 10 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan. If Brother Feng can't help me get back those 10 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan, I hope Brother Feng can scare Zhao Yong enough and let me pay Zhao Yong 2 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan every month. Yang Tian said with a bitter look on his face. Yang Tian is the genius of the Yang family in Xuanhuan City. Before Yang Feng came forward, Yang Tian had always been the #1 genius of the Yang family in Xuanhuan City and had extremely strong self-esteem. If there is really no other way, Yang Tian will easily ask Yang Feng for help. Xiao Tian, put it away. I will definitely help you get back those 10 bottles of Xuanhuan Dan. At that time, I will ask Zhao Yong to double the compensation for your Xuanhuan pill and let you come back. After hearing Yang Tian's words, Yang Feng said firmly. After saying that, Yang Feng let Yang Tian lead the way and walked towards the west courtyard. Is this the new disciple Yang Tian? Is he going to move reinforcements? I heard that Yang Tian is a disciple of an ordinary small-town family, and he can move to any place to recruit troops. Yang Tian has a cousin from the tribe, Yang Feng. On the day he entered the school, he defeated Su Hai, who was at the peak of the Qi realm, with one punch. Yang Tian's rescuer should be his cousin Yang Feng from the tribe. He defeated Su Hai, who was at the peak of the true Qi realm, on the very day he entered. What a mistake from Yang Feng. No matter how wrong Yang Feng's performance is, he is Zhao Yong's opponent. That's right. Zhao Yong is a peak warrior in the true Yuan realm. How can Yang Feng be better than Zhao Yong? Yang Tian is not trying to bring in reinforcements, he is just trying to trick me. Not long after Yang Feng and Yang Tian entered the west courtyard, they attracted the attention of countless west courtyard disciples, and they started talking softly. The eyes they looked at Yang Feng and Yang Tian were full of gloating about their misfortune. Brother Feng, Zhao Yong is a warrior at the peak of the true Yuan realm. If you want us to forget it this time, we will seek revenge from Zhao Yong again after you reach the peak of the true Yuan realm. Hearing the discussion of the disciples in the nearby west campus, Yang Tian tensed up and whispered to Yang Feng. Xiao Tian, a mere warrior at the peak of the true Yuan realm has turned the world upside down, just let it go. Seeing the worried look on Yang Tian's face, Yang Feng comforted him softly. While Yang Feng and Yang Tian were talking, they came to the martial arts field in the center of the west courtyard. At this time, in the martial arts field in the center of the west courtyard, thousands of outer sect disciples were busy practicing boxing, kicking, body, sword, knife and other martial arts. Zhao Yong, get out of here. Yang Feng looked at the thousands of disciples in the martial arts arena, took a step forward, and shouted loudly. Suddenly, he saw an extremely loud sound, resounding in the martial arts arena, and clearly reaching the ears of thousands of outer disciples in the martial arts arena. Are you here to cause trouble? This is here to cause trouble for Zhao Yong. There's a good show to watch. Who is so brave? How dare you make trouble for Zhao Yong? Who is this person? So fierce. Look at this person, he should be a disciple of our West Academy. I know this person, but the person next to him is our new outer disciple Yang Tian from the West Academy. This person should be the reinforcement that Yang Tian found. As soon as Yang Feng's voice fell, thousands of outer disciples in the martial arts field stopped practicing one after another, turned their eyes to Yang Feng, and started talking softly. I'm Zhao Yong, are you here to stand up for Yang Tian? While everyone was discussing, a tall and muscular young man with bulging muscles came out of the martial arts arena and looked at Yang Feng with an evil look on his face and asked. I am Yang Tian's cousin Yang Feng. You have two choices now. One is to return Yang Tian's Xuanhuan pills twice, and ask Yang Tian to come back, and then admit his mistake in public and promise that he will snatch Yang Tian's Xuanhuan pills again. One is to seriously injure me, and then steal all your essence pills and golden tickets. Looking at the tall and muscular Zhao Yong, Yang Feng said in a cold tone. Yang Feng, your tone and attitude make me very happy. So, I will definitely seriously injure you today so that you will tremble all over when you hear my name. Upon hearing Yang Feng's words, Zhao Yong's eyes flashed fiercely and he responded with anger on his face. As he spoke, Zhao Yong mobilized the true energy in his body, condensed a spear about 10 feet long, and stabbed Yang Feng's body, as if he wanted to pierce Yang Feng on the spot. Facing the attack of the true essence spear, Yang Feng's expression changed, and he took the initiative to meet it with a movement of his body. Bang! With a crisp sound, Yang Feng made a fist with his right hand, with a faint light, and hit the true essence spear. The terrifying power suddenly burst out, directly smashing the true essence spear, turning it into dots of light and disappearing into thin air. Then, Yang Feng turned into a residual image, approached Zhao Yong, and punched him in the chest in his horrified eyes. Ah! With a shrill scream, Zhao Yong's body flew backwards and fell heavily on the ground, his sternum shattered, spitting out a large mouthful of bright red blood, and losing the battle. At this time, Yang Feng flashed and approached Zhao Yong, bending down and groping around his body. Soon, more than 100 bottles of essence pills and more than 100,000 gold notes were searched out from Zhao Yong's body by Yang Feng and put into the space ring. Zhao Yong was defeated by a punch. This is too shocking. Zhao Yong is a peak warrior in the true Yuan realm. How could he be defeated by a newcomer with a punch? Yang Feng is a newcomer. How could he severely injure Zhao Yong with a punch? To severely injure a peak warrior in the true Yuan realm with a punch, Yang Feng should have the ability to cultivate in the Gangqi realm. A newcomer actually has the ability to cultivate in the Gangqi realm. How can people live like this? Space ring. Yang Feng must be a person with a background. Yang Feng actually has a space ring. It's amazing. Zhao Yong hit a wall this time. Zhao Yong was seriously injured. His brother Zhao Qi will definitely not give up. Zhao Yong's brother Zhao Qi has the strength of the late Gangqi realm and is the 188th disciple on our outer sect elite list. He is extremely powerful. Yang Feng is definitely not Zhao Qi's opponent. Seeing that Yang Feng severely injured Zhao Yong with one punch, the faces of the surrounding West Court disciples changed drastically, and they exclaimed involuntarily, with shock and surprise in their eyes. Chapter 9 Sweeping the West Courtyard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Feng, you are too cruel. It's just a competition between fellow disciples. Why did you break Zhao Yong's sternum? Also, it's fine if you defeated Zhao Yong. Why did you snatch the essence pills and gold notes from him? As everyone was exclaiming and discussing, a slender young man stepped out of the crowd and questioned Yang Feng with a murderous look on his face. You are a newcomer, you haven't practiced well enough, you didn't know how to measure and how serious you were, but you didn't break Zhao Yong's sternum on purpose. As for snatching Zhao Yong's essence pills and gold notes, it's simply nonsense. How can this be called snatching? This is clearly collecting the spoils. According to the rules of our Xuantian sect, there can be prizes for competition between fellow disciples. These essence pills and gold notes are the prizes for you to defeat Zhao Yong. If you don't like me, we can have a fight. As long as you defeat me, not only will all these essence pills and gold notes belong to you, but all the essence pills and gold notes on me will also belong to you. Yang Feng glanced at the young man and responded calmly, Wang Tao is Zhao Qi's good friend and has the strength of the initial stage of Gangqi cultivation. He is here to help Zhao Yong. A warrior in the initial stage of Gangqi may not be Yang Feng's opponent. Yang Feng is a very fierce man and is not afraid of anything. If I had Yang Feng's strength, I wouldn't be afraid of anything. Seeing the verbal conflict between Yang Feng and the young man, the surrounding West Court disciples began to discuss quietly, and opened their eyes, ready to watch the show. Since you want to spar with me, I will play with you. Wang Tao seemed not to hear the discussions around him. He snorted coldly, and then he moved his body, turned into a residual image, and rushed straight to Yang Feng. During this process, pure Gang Qi surged out of Wang Tao's body, condensed into a Gang Qi long sword, and stabbed straight at Yang Feng's chest. Facing the attack of Wang Tao's condensed Gang Qi long sword, Yang Feng's expression did not change. With a thought, pure Gang Qi penetrated his body and condensed into a Gang Qi fist glove, covering his fist. Immediately afterwards, Yang Feng moved his body and took the initiative to meet Wang Tao. His fist wrapped in Gang Chi fist, with terrifying power, bombarded the Gang Chi long sword, bang. Amidst a violent roar, Wang Tao's condensed Gang Chi long sword was blasted by Yang Feng's fist shattered, turned into countless light spots, splashing around. At this time, Yang Feng took a step and approached Wang Tao's side. His right fist with a dazzling Gangchi boxing glove hit Wang Tao's chest and Wang Tao's horrified eyes, crack. Accompanied by a crisp fracture sound, Yang Feng's fist hit Wang Tao's chest, causing the sternum to shatter, and flew backwards, falling heavily to the ground, making a shrill scream. Yang Feng moved his body and quickly approached Wang Tao, bending down to grope his body. Soon, dozens of bottles of essence pills and more than 200,000 gold notes were looted by Yang Feng and collected in a space ring. How strong is Yang Feng to defeat a Gangchi realm warrior with one punch? Yang Feng can't be a Gangchi middle or even late-stage warrior. This is very likely. Otherwise, how could Yang Feng severely injure Wang Tao, who was in the early stage of Gangchi, with just one punch? Wow! A newcomer actually has the cultivation strength of the middle stage of Gangchi, or even the late stage of Gangchi. How can we old people feel about it? Don't compare with a genius like Yang Feng, otherwise you will be autistic. Seeing that Yang Feng severely injured Wang Tao with one punch, the surrounding West Court disciples exclaimed in surprise, their eyes full of shock and disbelief, as well as deep fear and envy. Yang Feng, this is the West Court, not the East Court. You are in our West Court, injuring our West Court disciples, and robbing our West Court disciples of their wealth. Isn't that too much? That's right. Yang Feng, you, a disciple of the East Court, didn't stay in the East Court, but ran to our West Court to act wildly. Aren't you too arrogant? Yang Feng, you acted wildly in our West Court, you don't take us West Court disciples seriously. Everyone, Yang Feng doesn't take us West Court disciples seriously. Shouldn't we teach him a profound lesson and let him know that we West Court disciples are not easy to mess with? While everyone was exclaiming and discussing, dozens of Gangchi realm disciples who were on good terms with Zhao Qi stepped forward, shouted loudly, and quickly dispersed to surround Yang Feng, making it impossible for Yang Feng to escape. Obviously, these dozens of Gangchi realm disciples knew that they were no match for Yang Feng alone, so they found an excuse and prepared to unite to suppress Yang Feng. Hearing the words of these dozens of Gangchi realm disciples and seeing their actions, the faces of the nearby West Courtyard disciples changed slightly, and they quickly retreated and stayed away from the battlefield to avoid being involved and suffering from unwarranted disasters. The East Courtyard and the West Courtyard are both where the outer disciples of Xuantian sect live. Any outer disciple of Xuantian sect can come and go freely. Why can't they come to the West Courtyard? Aren't the West Courtyard disciples of Xuantian sect? Don't they have to abide by the rules of Xuantian sect? Humph. If you want to use your numbers to bully the few and besiege us, just do it directly. There is no need to say shameless remarks that will make people laugh out loud. Looking at the dozens of Gangchi disciples who surrounded him, Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a fierce light, and he scolded in a cold tone. Brothers, come together, let Yang Feng know that we, the disciples of the West Court, are not easy to mess with. Hearing Yang Feng's words, a disciple in the middle stage of Gangchi flashed a cold light in his eyes, roared, and encouraged the Gangchi in his body, condensed a Gangchi long sword, and chopped at Yang Feng's body. At the same time, dozens of other disciples in the early and middle stages of Gangchi realm encouraged the Gangchi in their bodies, condensed a number of Gangchi long swords, long knives, long spears and other weapons, and greeted Yang Feng, as if they wanted to chop Yang Junqing into meat sauce. Facing the attacks of dozens of Gangchi realm disciples, Yang Feng's expression did not change. He snorted coldly, and performed the Wu-Ying step of the master level, instantly turning into a residual image, disappearing on the spot, disappearing from the sight of many Gangchi realm disciples. Then, Yang Feng clenched his fists, and with the Gangchi boxing gloves, he struck at the Gangchi realm disciples one by one. Bang! 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 Amidst the crisp sounds, Yang Feng's fists continuously struck at the Gangchi realm disciples, causing them to scream miserably, be thrown backwards, and fall heavily to the ground, spitting out a lot of blood, breaking bones and tendons, and losing the ability to fight. In a moment, dozens of Ganqi realm disciples who besieged Yang Feng were all knocked to the ground by Yang Feng, wailing in pain. Who else is not convinced? Yang Feng glanced at the dozens of Ganqi realm disciples wailing on the ground, and then cast his eyes on the thousands of disciples in the martial arts field, asking in a cold voice, feeling Yang Feng's sharp gaze. Thousands of disciples in the martial arts arena either lowered their heads or turned their heads away, not daring to look at Yang Feng. Seeing this, Yang Feng chuckled and began to search the bodies of dozens of Ganqi realm disciples. Soon, Yang Feng searched out a large amount of essence pills and gold notes, and put them into the space ring. Yang Feng, are you bullying us because there is no one in the west courtyard? Do you dare to fight Zhao Qi? At this time, a loud voice came from afar. A tall young man with a strong murderous aura and an angry face approached quickly. Chapter 10 Fame in Xuantian City. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Zhao Qi is here, it's time to watch the show. Zhao Qi is a warrior in the late stage of the Gang Qi realm. Yang Feng is probably going to be unlucky. That's not necessarily true. Yang Feng's strength must be weak, and Zhao Qi may not win. It is not that common for warriors in the late Gang Qi realm to fight. We are so lucky. Yang Feng is very strong. I wonder if he can defeat Zhao Qi and get on the outer elite list. Seeing the young man approaching quickly, several West Campus disciples on the martial arts field started talking softly, their eyes filled with excitement and anticipation. Why don't you dare? Whatever your skills are, just show them. Yang Feng looked at the young man and responded calmly. Courage. I just don't know if your strength is worthy of your courage. After receiving Yang Feng's affirmative answer, Zhao Qi's eyes flashed fiercely, and with an angry roar, he moved and threw an afterimage directly towards Yang Feng. In the process of rushing towards Yang Feng, the Gang Qi in Zhao Qi's body surged rapidly, and a long sword of Gang Qi was condensed. Under its swing, it slashed towards Yang Feng's body with a sharp edge. Xuantian sword technique. Facing Zhao Qi's Gang Qi long sword attack, Yang Feng's expression remained unchanged. With a slight drink, he mobilized the Gang Qi in his body, condensed a Gang Qi long sword, used Xuantian sword technique, and took the initiative to meet him. Bang! In the midst of a crisp sound, the Gangqi long sword in Yang Feng's hand collided with Zhao Qi's Gangqi long sword. The terrifying power suddenly erupted, directly shattering Zhao Qi's Gangqi long sword, causing little lights to shine. Disappear into nothingness. Immediately afterwards, the Gangqi sword in Yang Feng's hand, with a sharp edge, slashed across Zhao Qi's neck, and traces of bright red blood seeped out from Zhao Qi's neck. At this time, Zhao Qi touched the blood on his neck, and a look of shock flashed in his eyes. He couldn't believe that he was killed instantly by Yang Feng's sword. After standing there for a while, Zhao Qi suppressed the shock in his heart and said to Yang Feng, I lost. Here are 100 bottles of essence, which is my winnings. As he spoke, Zhao Qi waved his hand and took out 100 bottles of essence from the space ring and gave it to Yang Feng. After that, Zhao Qi took out the hemostatic talisman to stop the bleeding on his neck, and began to deal with Zhao Yong, Wang Tao, and other West Campus disciples who were severely injured by Yang Feng. After Yang Feng took the 100 bottles of essence from Zhao Qi, he glanced at several West Academy disciples on the martial arts field and said in a calm tone, This is my cousin Yang Tian. If anyone dares to bully me, if so, I will definitely make him pay a heavy price. After saying that, Yang Feng took Yang Tian and left the martial arts arena in the west courtyard. Xiao Tian, these are 3 bottles of essence. You can take them to practice. If I still bully you, tell me again and I will help you stand up. By the way, don't bully me in my name, otherwise you won't blame me for falling out with you. After arriving at the entrance of the west courtyard, Yang Feng took out 3 bottles of essence from the space ring, handed it to Yang Tian, and explained softly. Brother Feng, don't worry, I won't bully you in your name. Yang Tian took the essence and said with excitement. We in the Yang family are not afraid of trouble, but we also don't cause trouble at will. Practice hard, work hard to improve your own strength, and become an inner disciple and true disciple of the Xuantian sect. This is the pursuit of our young family. Don't waste time on unnecessary trivial matters, you know, Yang Feng explained in a solemn tone. Brother Feng, I know. Yang Tian nodded and said firmly. After getting Yang Tian's affirmative answer, Yang Feng patted Yang Tian on the shoulder and walked towards the east courtyard. Now that he has obtained a batch of essence, Yang Feng is ready to return to his dormitory to continue practicing Xuantian Ju and improve his own cultivation strength. When Yang Feng returned to his dormitory to practice, his reputation began to spread rapidly among Xuantian City University, in the martial arts arena of the East Campus. Due to a piece of news, several disciples stopped practicing and started talking loudly. There was a violent incident in our East Courtyard. It was really shocking. Yang Feng came to our Xuantian city 3 days ago, and he swept through the disciples of the West Campus, showing terrifying strength and combat effectiveness. It is really incredible. Yang Feng should be the legendary genius, otherwise why would his strength be so terrifying? Easily defeated several famous Gangqi realm warriors, and instantly killed Zhao Qi in the late Gangqi realm with one sword. Yang Feng definitely possesses the cultivation strength at the peak of the Gangqi realm and the combat power at the top of the elite list. Yang Feng is 8 years old and is so terrifying. After a few years, won't he be able to become an inner disciple? That while the disciples in the East Campus were discussing loudly, the disciples in the South Campus, our own courtyard, were also discussing Yang Feng's affairs. In addition, ordinary people in Xuantian City, casual cultivators, family monks, and even outer sect elders are all talking about Yang Feng's deeds, thinking that Yang Feng is a genius with unlimited future prospects. Yang Feng has actually been promoted to a peak martial artist in the Gangqi realm. This is incredible. After hearing Yang Feng's news, a look of shock flashed in Zhao Hai's eyes, and he exclaimed involuntarily. You know, Yang Feng was brought to Xuantian City by Zhao Hai from Xuanhuan City. Zhao Hai was absolutely certain that Yang Feng was only a true Qi realm warrior 3 days ago. In just 3 days, Yang Feng cultivated from the true Qi realm to the peak of the Gangqi realm, which made Zhao Hai feel incredible. However, after a burst of exclamations, Zhao Hai showed an excited look on his face, knowing that his investment had made a lot of money. Once Yang Feng was promoted to an inner disciple, Zhao Hai could get generous rewards from the sect. If Yang Feng was promoted to a true disciple, Xuantian sect would directly reward Zhao Hai with some extremely precious medicine to help him break through the bottleneck and be promoted to a supernatural warrior. In addition to the generous rewards from the sect, Yang Feng's friendship and affection were the most precious, allowing Zhao Hai to walk sideways in Xuantian City. Even some old-fashioned outer elders would be polite to Zhao Hai and dare not be too arrogant. Yang Feng is actually a peerless genius, which is really shocking. If I had known, would have invested more. This time, Lao Zhao got lucky and made a fortune. I must give Lao Zhao a good beating. After hearing the news about Yang Feng, Elder Wang of the Internal Affairs Hall had a look of shock in his eyes, and then he sighed helplessly. Yang Feng killed Zhao Qi, who was ranked 188th on the outer sect elite list, with one sword. With his comprehensive strength and combat effectiveness, he should be able to enter the top of the outer sect elite list. The Blood Spirit Secret Realm is about to open, and our Xuantian city has actually gained a peerless genius. It's really delightful. Xuantian City Lord Li Su looked at the detailed information in his hand, with a look of surprise in his eyes, and whispered softly. After a mutter, Li Su used his permission to send a message to Yang Feng, asking him to come to the city lord's mansion.